Hey Bret, I'm going to walk you through some proofs of your book. I'm going to show you how to do this real quick. I'm in Create Space. I'm just going to show you the member dashboard. I just created a bunch of test books and just go navigate to the interior. It'll make you add some information like the title and the author. You need to be sure and choose 7.5 by 9.5 size. Trim size, and you just do that right here in the trim interior trim size. That's the size that you need, and then gonna upload the file. I've already done that. Just upload and then save, and it'll tell you that there's some problems in the text, which is stuff that I've already gone over with you. There are two things it'll flag. One thing will be the size of the PDF file. The PDF file paper size is 8.5 by 11, and it will trim it for us down to the 7.25 by 9.25 paper size here. It'll do that automatically, and the reason for that is you have this bigger page, and I've set on top of that page text that is the smaller size, margins and everything, so it'll just trim the excess paper away. I'm going to show you two proofs in CreateSpace. The first one is the one that I sent you earlier. The only difference is this proof is in Times New Roman font, which I do not like, and I do not encourage you to publish in that font because that's what everybody's used to seeing in print and in emails. If you use Adobe Garamond, it's a little bit thinner font, and it's more pleasant on the eyes while you're holding a book. The other style that I do sometimes is old Bookman style, but it looks like a typewriter. This one looks, really slick and professional. But if you'd rather use Times New Roman, that's fine with me, or any other font for that matter. You have, more choices that I could possibly even name. But I'm just showing you what I usually do and what I prefer to do. But I'll do it any way you like. Okay. Automated print check found 2 issues with your file. Don't worry about that. Just click on Launch Interior Reviewer. Depending on your computer speed, sometimes this takes quite a while. It used to take me 4 minutes or so, and I've updated my Mac, and I've got considerably, it's considerably faster. So, like I said, this PDF was submitted at a size different from what's expected, and that's fine. The second thing is your images, so that's not a bad place to be in. I don't know if we're going to include this in the book or not. I just included it because it was already in the file. What I really want you to see is this layout here. Now I'm going to make a few changes that you'll see in the next one. I didn't like how this is set up here. I put a tab. I tabbed this over one and put a little EM dash in there. Just let me know anything that you want. This is just how it appeared in the book that we've been working on. I really like that these runes are in different sizes. I think that's gives it kind of an authentic look. Different size runes here. They can be the same size. There are runes in your table of contents. I just kept these 3 the same ones because you actually talk about it as a subject in the book. There were 2 runes at one of these titles of your poems. I don't remember offhand which one, but there were 2 runes that I removed from the table of contents. They were a lot bigger than these little ones, and they weren't topical. Like you weren't actually addressing them in the book. So this is your table of contents. And then for the parts, I just put your part. I did not begin the text like we had been doing. The parts are also halfway down the page. That's normal. If you don't like this dash, let me know. We can render this if you like. Have a book that you want to show me. I can probably recreate the way that this looks. I like this picture. I saw it for the first time last night. I went through and made these a little bigger. Added your header On the odd page, title of the book. On the even page, except for the chapter headings, one with this begins kind of a new chapter, so I didn't include the header up here. It looked weird. I had it originally, but most of the time when you start a new chapter, you don't have the header up there. And you'll notice page numbers. I started the page numbering, page number 1 with part 1, so it would appear over here on your table of contents, page 1. I know it looks kind of odd to my eyes. Usually start it with text, but because you have part pages are numbered usually. You'll notice I also set your footnote. This is how all of my books are. It's tabbed over for the first footnote, and then the second line of the footnote will be in line with the text. And of course, this side of the text is in line with where the text ends. Now, what I like to do is I place the text as far as I can, close as I can to the printable edges of the book. Like if text were any closer out here, it would be in that little hump where they put the book binding. You know how when you open a book, there's a little hump. Well, this is designed so it's right on the edge of that little hump. And then I can't put text any closer to the margin over here or won't be able to print. So we took up all the space on the book, on the page. And another thing to note, in the typesetting, I allowed for 1 dash, and I can stack them too high. If you stack them any higher than that, you could get your more words on the page, or less, depending on how the program does it. But you don't want any ladders where you have several of these hyphens at the end of the row. It's nice and clean. The most you'll see is 2 in a row, and you got 2 right there. But that makes the spacing of the words a little bit more even and pleasant. So you notice you have your name at the top of the even page, book name at the top of the odd page. You mentioned, and I did pay attention to this, you mentioned the typesetting of the poetry, and I'll get to that in just a second. Let me just show you the other book real quick. I'm going to go ahead and pause it.